Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So this is a topic I've been meaning to talk about for a while now, and I feel like I'm doing a disservice to you all for not sharing this. So today I'll be talking about my top ways to increase your efficiency and overall skill in Destiny 2 PvP. And before we begin, I just want to make sure that you guys are subscribed if you're really enjoying my content, since I post literally every single day. I make a range of content, usually around Destiny 2. But, PvP, PvE builds, I'm actually working on a build right now, which will probably be coming out tomorrow. But yeah, make sure you're liking the video. And if you think that one of your friends could find this video helpful, definitely share it out. I'll be giving out some really good information. So let's go ahead and get right back into it. So these are the things I've noticed I've changed in my play style that led to my greater success inside of PvP. Yes, I actually did some research. So the very first thing I noticed was to not get in this mentality of the, "Welp, I'm dead" mindset. So this is best explained through an example. So let's say you get into a skirmish with two players on the enemy team. You manage to take out one of them. Good job. However, he left you at the break of death, so any weapon or ability can easily take you out in one hit. You notice that the second person begins to fire at you, so you say, "Welp, I'm dead," and just kind of sit there, maybe giving a bit of movement, but overall you just believe that you're 100% dead and you cannot get out of this. Don't get into this mindset. You always want to do one of two things while in this situation. Number one, try to get away. There's absolutely no shame in trying to get away if you're literally right about to die, or even, as I talk about later, maybe even not at all. Number two, try to take the second guy out or at least damage him. Yes, even just try to damage him. Due to if you're playing a high competitive matches and your friend will have an easier time taking him out due to, well, he's a lower health now, or due to the Destiny point system, shooting a guy once will give you the kill, even if you shot him one time. But yeah, it still counts as a kill towards you. So yeah. Yes, just trying to get away sometimes is the best move in a situation, and most of the time you're just going to want to get away. Trying to take out the second guy will probably be difficult, especially if you think of range, unless you're some type of like, you know, PvP god or anything, just stay away. All right. Yeah, so run, get cover, and wait for your health to refuel. I see myself doing this all the time in recent matches, and I don't feel like it interrupts gameplay whatsoever because, your health regens pretty fast. It's not like a minute or two. It's like literally like 5 seconds. And I have low recovery status. So, I mean, yeah. And then the number two, I need to go into more detail on this. So I believe I said this before, weakening him to get the Destiny 2 assist or help your teammate. And even if you are 100% sure you're going to die, try every single time to do either one of these two steps because eventually you will get away or get the kill and you just saved yourself from another death. If you're trying to get away, try sliding or maybe jumping. It really depends on your terrain. But most of the time, sliding is going to be probably your best option, and I found it most helpful while trying to get away in special dire situations. Number two, don't simp for the meta. Okay, I know this one sounds a bit confusing and a bit funny on the list, but hear me out. The meta changes a lot. But you know what doesn't change a lot? My current loadout. At least not a whole lot. When you're always trying to use whatever the main meta is, you're gonna have to change your play style and everything you know. So let's say you play really aggressive, and the next thing you know, you have to like it's a different meta, and then you have to play really transgressive. It's gonna be very, very difficult, and you don't want to always want to change your play style because you want to fixate on a play style and then abuse that play style. Like let's say you use an auto rifle, and then the meta turned into a bow meta. They're completely different playstyle. One, you just kind of randomly shoot and bam, you get a kill. But with, bows, you have to peek that corner and shoot around. So yes, you're going to have a very, very hard time transitioning. And while in this, I find you're probably going to begin hitting on that lower spectrum of the KDRs. All right, so find the weapon that fits you. Like mine is Chaperone. I've been using this thing forever, man. All right, it's my baby. All right, I've been using this thing forever. All right. Yes. Find the weapon that suits you. That's the main number two. Number three, don't be afraid to be French. Or in other words, Don't be afraid to retreat. Yes, this one is pretty similar to my number one option, but I feel like I need to go into some more detail and it adds a bit more, I don't know, fluorescence into it. So if you run around a corner and see three people are all hard scoping with snipers or aiming with any weapon, run. There are three of them. There are three of them, and there is one of you, and they can all just literally just one hit you. I mean, don't rush them. You're probably going to lose. Repositioning to fight them later is probably the best option. Maybe throw a grenade and then run, but still. This step is like the equivalent of live to fight another day, saying, if you backpedal and find the people who are by themselves or able to be killable, go after them. And you don't always need to get into the fight. So if you are a sniper with a scout rifle and there is an ape running towards you, not the best time to go full, phase member on them. I try repositioning yourself and get a better fear of attack. So yeah, you don't always need to get into a fight. Even if if you see two people, you don't need to run in there and attack. Just chill out. All right. I see my friends doing this all the time. It's like, no, don't run up there. You're going to get killed. And then they get killed. They're like, oh my gosh. And then they complain. But you got to reposition yourself. But you can even see I do that a lot in the gameplay. So yeah, I definitely 100% reposition myself. All right, number 4, don't always be scared of roaming supers. I say roaming supers because, I mean, if you go solo Nova Bomb, man, it's over. All right. Those things track you, and they will never stop tracking you. I think I've got away from them like 5 times, and I've been solo Nova Bombed a lot. Yeah, okay, so yeah, back into the video and get away from my personal vendetta against Warlocks. All right, so don't always give up when you see a super or run away. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of moments where running away is probably the best option, but you have to be wary because a lot of supers have some type of ranged attack, or just Warlocks shoot their supers shoot indefinitely, and they can hit you at any range. All right, yeah, and most of the time the supers are faster than you unless it's a hunter super. But try to damage a super, or even just try to kill it with your weapon or something. I would say don't always try to counter with it with your super, because this could end badly, and I see it end badly a lot. Due to the person's already in their super, and if you try to pop yours and they hit you before you fully get it out, you're gone. I mean, Fist of Havoc's pretty good, but any other super where you have to sit there and then pop it, you're probably going to die. And so you're gone, and so is your super. Just not a good idea, and just try to wait till pop it either if you kill that person or they kill you. All right, so obviously, if you're playing like a competitive play and the enemy has match point, just go ahead and pop your super. I mean, if they have match point, right? All right, number 5, be aware of your enemy. So this is kind of just an option, but this kind of helps you in the long run. So the loading screen before a match, well, you can actually use this. Go into the roster tab, and you can expect what everyone is using. This can help you find out how many people are using shotguns or snipers. Like, for instance, if I see that there's 10 snipers, and I know to watch these common areas where snipers like hard scoping and try to counter them or just avoid them in general. Also, I know not just to run around corners like Leroy Jenkins here. All right, and I kind of can change my playstyle just a bit if I want to play more aggressively, or if I want to kind of let them bait me. If they're shotguns, you want to let them bait you. I mean, you want to bait them, but if they're snipers, you got to be aggressive. All right. So yeah, and then number 6, use an exotic. This one is very helpful. Exotics can literally make or break your game. Or just give you a slight increase in your stat, or just a slight buff. But in PvP, you want every single buff you can get. So try to use a lot of them. I mean, you got to find which one is yours. Like, I know last season, you know what was my baby? Doomfang pauldrons. I loved those things. I don't know why they nerfed. Nobody ever used them other than me and like my friends, because I was like, this thing's powerful. Everybody should use it. But nobody ever did. Other than like occasional people. Everybody was just using like One-Eyed Mask. But I was using Doomfang. But then, it got nerfed to the ground, man. So it was literally unusable, which kind of sucked. Yeah, but just try to use an exotic. I mean, in a place where light doesn't matter, you can even pull 750, if you're hunter stompies, just to give you a bit of, extra increased mobility, because you really need it. All right. So yeah, so whether you just want a mobility increase or boots that reflect damage back on enemies when you slide, just try to use an exotic that helps you, especially one that matches your playstyle. Like currently, I'm trying to get a 1/9 mask right now, a good one, so that I can when I get a kill, because you see, I get into 1v2 skirmishes all the time, man. And if I have the ability to regain my health on the kills, I need it. I really do need it. So I'll probably be trying to get that thing on as soon as I can, but it just never drops for me, which sucks. Yeah, and honestly, in Destiny 1, I wore gauntlets where it gave me an overshield on kills, so I need that. All right, so yeah, those are my main top 6. There's a couple, occasional ones that are like pretty simple, but nothing that would change your playstyle too much. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you found this very informative or helpful, make sure to share it with a friend and make sure to like the video. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and make sure to hit that sub button down below. And if you want to get notifications when I post, just very gently tap the bell notification. I mean, I personally don't use bell notifications. I don't like the notifications, but maybe you do. Maybe you do. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.